Hey all, I'm Nina Roberti. I'm an animal communicator, intuitive, Reiki master, energy healer, and this is Bailey, my co-creator and counterpart in life, who I'm grateful that he chose me as his guardian and keeps me very, very present in this earth plane. I have done a few previous videos of the clairs of how we receive information into our energetic field. As we know, we are all energetic beings and we receive information from all different ways using our senses. So we went through clair, which is clairvoyant, and that is clair is clear. So the clairvoyant is clear seeing. We have also clairaudient, which is clear hearing. We have clear cognizant, that is clear knowing, your inner wisdom. Clairsentient, which I'll be talking about today, which is clear feelings, emotions. And then there is clear gustance, which is tasting, and clairalience, which is smell. So we receive, since we are energetic beings, we do receive all of the information from all different ways. And these are the different ways that we receive the information, we process it, and then we bring it into our field so that we are intuitively knowing beings. So today I'm going to talk about clairsentient, and that is clear sensing, that is clear feeling, clear knowing. It's like our sixth sense. Most empaths are clairsentient as they feel the emotions of others around them. But for clairsentient, you can just possibly you walk into the room and you are able to feel or sense the energy that maybe there was a fight in there earlier, or maybe that someone had passed away, or it's very dense and heavy, or that maybe there was like a birthday celebration or some exciting thing that you feel happy and joy, and it's very positive and energetic when you walk in. I know for me, being very sensitive to feeling, I am constantly smudging my home and clearing my home. That is saging it, using different, like I use a lot of copal or incense or things like that to clear it. Basically, Paleo Santo is one of my favorite things to do. I do burn a lot of essential oils that brighten and lighten the mood. So that is because I feel things when I walk into a room. My home is very feng shui, so because of the energy. So it is the flow of energy, it's position of furniture, it is the different colors, maybe different textures, it is crystals or all kinds of things that I put into my home in each different room because of the energy flow, because I'm very sensitive to that energy. A lot of people that are clairsentient may wear very comfortable clothing. Like this is just a denim shirt and it's very soft, but they usually like to have very soft, comfortable clothing. People who are clairsentient are usually, they value most people value their bodies as temples, but they are exercise a lot, or they're very conscious of exercising because it makes them feel good, or they're very clean eaters because it makes their body feel good, and it keeps a heightened sense of that feeling of information that you are receiving. Our body is a temple and we are energetic beings, so what we put into our body does make a difference as to what we see, feel, hear, and know. Other ways for that you may be clairsentient is that you may get, tingles all up and down the spine, or you get goosebumps or chills. I know that is a sign for truth for me when I am in a session and I'm speaking something and I received goosebumps. I know that is the sign of truth. There are a lot of ways that, I am very clairsentient, as I do receive all of the clairs. I receive my information all of those different ways. But I know, like, for instance, I was in a session and as I was tapping into this animal, they were feeling very lethargic and kind of depressed is what the guardian had said. And when I tapped in, all of a sudden I became very, very nauseous. And I was so nauseous that I had to actually stop the session. Normally I can just tap in and come back, but it was so overwhelming, which was a sign that, the guardian needed to take the dog to the vet, which they did, and all is good, but he had a few different issues that were addressed, and then I was able to go back and tap in and to finish the session at a later date. But there are various things that, people are very sensitive to temperature. I know that I am very sensitive to temperature change. It is amazing that when I used to live in Wyoming, there's not much moisture in the air, so it could be -30, but you dress for the weather, and that is a much better temperature for me than it is here in the South when it is like 80 degrees and a lot of humidity. But people that are clairsentient usually can feel just this slight degree of temperature change. Like you walk into a room, maybe it is 1 or 2 degrees, but you either become very cold or very hot. So you're very sensitive. It's all about your feeling. As I was saying earlier, that when you walk into a room, you can feel the tension in the air because someone may have had an argument. There are times that you can walk into a crowd or into a room full of people and you feel uncomfortable. You either feel the heaviness of it or you feel the happiness. I know when I was living in Jackson Hole, Jackson Hole is a very old town and there's a lot that has gone on since it's in the wild, wild west. But there was one place that would have music and it was very, very heavy for me. It was a hotel and it had a venue for music and it was great, but it would be very hard for me. And I would tell friends of mine, I was like, it's very dark in here. And I meant the energy was very heavy and dark, not like the lightness. Like I do like a lot of light in my house with windows and natural light, but you feel the heaviness of places. Sometimes you walk in and people are exhausting. It's exhausting to be around people. They really drain your energy, but there are other people that you love being around because they bring up your vibration. They make you happy and it's just a feel-good thing to be around those people. Do you possibly maybe sense the presence of someone in a room, and no one is there? That possibly, I always tap in and make sure it's of your highest and best because there is a lot going on these days, but it could be the presence of a loved one checking in to see how you're doing. I know that my dad is around a lot. He has passed away. Oh God, it'll be almost 5 years in June. And Bailey sees him a lot. And I know that he's around. I talk to him all the time, but he is a lot around. So I know that he is there. But he's not physically here, but you can sense someone. Sometimes you may feel like a breeze in the room and there is no breeze or AC or anything going on. You may feel like a slight dusting touch on your shoulder or, a little nudge or maybe the wind. And there's no really wind out. That is probably someone, past loved one, that is just letting you know that they're there and they're checking in and that they love you. Are there times, do you know when someone is telling the truth? It is interesting because you feel it. Truth has a feeling, it has a vibration, but you can also feel when someone is not telling the truth. So you just kind of look at them and be like, no, that's not accurate. But, everyone's on their own journey, but it is interesting. Just test that out because you can feel into when someone is telling the truth or not. It's also clairsentient is when you have a gut feeling, right? Like maybe you've been offered a job and you have a feeling that maybe that's not really the best fit for you. Or maybe you want to go on vacation and all of a sudden you decide, well, for some reason I'm feeling that this is not really the right time. That is clairsentient. There are these subtle feelings or sensations that we receive in our body. When I'm doing sessions, it's very, and you zone into it or you hone in onto it, but it's the slight nuances. It's just this subtle shift that's in your body and that you feel it. I know that when we have a new moon or a full moon, my sleep patterns are off. And I know a lot of people's sleep patterns are off because they're very sensitive to the energies. A lot of empaths, they are very sensitive to those energies as well. So you will notice that people that are empaths are also clairsentient. Most clairsentient people are probably healers because they feel the emotions, they feel the pain. They may be your therapist as a counselor, or they may be a physical therapist in the physical body. There is one thing, like when you're clairsentient, you can also, as I was saying, in hotels, you can also feel the energy when you go into an antique store or a consignment shop, because there's a lot of energies, and unless they have cleared all of that energies that is holding on to maybe pieces of furniture or clothing or anything like that, it is still attached. So you will bring that home with you, and then that is in your home. So I am not really a fan of all of that, but you know, it's up to each individual person. But since I'm very sensitive to energy, I clear all of the energy. I mean, I clear the energy before I have guests and after I have guests, because I want to make sure that it is the lightest and highest vibration for when someone comes to visit. There are a few ways that you can enhance or heighten your clairsentient abilities. You know, possibly sit with a friend and maybe tune into them and see how they're feeling, or maybe have a group of friends and have someone bring some other friends that you don't know and tune in, and so see how they're feeling and just discuss that. You could also do this with a photograph. I know that when I look at photos, I receive a lot of information from the photos. A lot of it is you get a feeling. You know, I also get, there's a lot of, clairsentient is also, they're all kind of intertwined with each other. You know, like with clairsentient, you have a feeling, or you may have a knowing, you may have a seeing or hearing. It is all intertwined, but because it's how we receive this information into our energetic field and how we process it and then interpret it and use this to moving forward in this physical world. But I do receive a lot of information from pictures. You can possibly pick up an object and feel into the object and see what you receive from that. So there's many, many different ways that you can heighten or practice to see if you are clairsentient, which possibly if you cry at movies, you know, or when someone is telling you the story, you get very emotional because you're sensing their emotion. This is also clairsentient. I know that I get very teary-eyed. I can get teary-eyed at a commercial, especially if it has animals in it. I'm done. But, and I'm sure most people are, because it tears at your heartstrings, right? And we as human beings are very compassionate people. And we are energetic beings, so we can feel things, and it's all in all time and space. So when someone is telling you a story, or you're seeing something from, you know, across the world, it's still pulling at your heartstrings. So that is clairsentient. It is clear sensing, it is clear feeling, it is your emotions, and like your sixth sense. So hopefully this information was helpful. I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, if you liked it and shared to other people so that you can share this information with them, and click the notification button so that you will receive messages when I am releasing more videos about this information similar to this. And I appreciate, have a wonderful day, and go get into nature, and I'll see you on the next video.